Is the Nothing phone worth it? Hi, I've used this Nothing phone for the past 2 weeks and I'm here to give my honest opinion. And this is going to be an opinion from a lifelong iPhone user because I used to have my iPhone as my main device for the longest time I can remember. And I had moved my main SIM from my iPhone to the Nothing Phone 1 2 weeks ago just so that I could do a daily use and get used to the device so that I could provide proper feedback. And in my use, I have loved the transition to the Android. Not because I've never used Android, because I have as a secondary device. I've never used it as my primary device. And in this case, for the past 2 weeks, Nothing Phone has been my primary device and it has been through hell. I've used it for pretty much everything. For navigation, for ordering food, for ordering cabs, for taking photos, for using this as my audio recording device when I needed to record my audio for whatever reason, for taking down notes, for texting, for calling, for having video calls, all that good stuff. And I have not been disappointed yet. There were a few issues that kinda annoyed me but didn't disappoint because I was able to work around it or I was able to sort it out by changing some of the settings. One of the main things that I should say in regards to the issue was when I put my SIM card in, and my SIM is 5G capable, when I put my SIM card in, the 5G speeds that I was getting on this phone was pretty ridiculous and I was not happy because my iPhone in the apartment that I am at the moment was getting 5G speeds of like 139, 140 on the downside and upside was like 30-ish something. And when I put the same SIM card inside of the Nothing phone, it was bad. I got 20 on the down and 30 on the up. And sometimes the down was even like 10. I did change a setting that allowed me to fix that. So what I did was I went to the settings and inside the SIM settings, what I was able to do was Smart 5G setting was turned on by default. So I turned it off, went back to the speed test app, and then I ran another test on 5G and I was getting 300 down and more than 100 on the up. And it was pretty amazing because this reached speed that even my iPhone in the same apartment using the same SIM card on the phone didn't get to. And I was very happy and I was able to resolve that issue. The other issue that I had with navigation using Google Maps on Nothing compared to using Google Maps on iPhone was the navigation always had trouble it pointing towards the correct direction. So I would be looking straight up and I had to go straight up, but the arrow would be pointing a bit to the side, sometimes confusing me. So that obviously was a better experience on the iPhone compared to this. And I know I'm comparing a flagship phone with a mid-range phone, but it's a general app use inside of the phone that I'm comparing. Hope that makes sense. But apart from that, those were not major issues. So apart from that, I've been pretty happy with this phone and I can't recommend this to people who are out there looking for a phone in the market but don't want to spend a lot of money. Then obviously this being a mid-range phone, you're going to be happy with. The glyph interface that you can see, the rings on the back, is a gimmick and it is literally a gimmick. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise because what's the use case? Most of the people use the phone with case on and not everyone might have a transparent, translucent case. So if you don't have a transparent case, the glyph interface is going to be hidden. There's no point. But if you have a transparent case, then yes, maybe there might be some usability with the glyph interface. But when someone calls you or texts you, that's when this glyph interface lights on. Your phone is either going to be inside your pocket or even if it's on the table or somewhere, it's basically going to be in face up position, which means the glyph interface is hidden by whatever your phone is on, table, whatsoever, it's hidden, right? So some people might put their phone face down, making the glyph interface face upwards, but not everyone does this. So for those purposes, buying a phone for the glyph interface doesn't make sense. So don't do that, I would recommend. But apart from that, it is a clean stock Android and the experience is pretty good. It has a 120 Hz refresh rate, so definitely gonna be a good phone for anyone looking to buy a new phone because their existing one doesn't work or whatever, and you don't have to spend flagship dollars, but you pretty much get almost flagship level usage wise because the spec on this phone is definitely not flagship. Camera is average, mid-range types. Processor inside this is also mid-range. So usage-wise and experience-wise, yeah, you're not gonna be like, oh, this is a mid-range phone because it is pretty smooth and it is fast and responsive. The haptic on this phone is insanely good than any other Android device that I've used. It was 100% better than my Pixel 6 Pro. It's not as good as the iPhone 13 Pro Max, but it's very close, I would say. Not exactly, but yeah, very close than any other Android phone, whether flagship or mid-range, has ever been, I would say. But yeah, this phone has been pretty good. So if you're out in the market buying a new phone, but you don't want to spend a lot of money, then definitely buy this. But if you already have a working phone, don't buy this phone just because there's glyph interface and a lot of the people are making videos about that and it looks nice on those videos. Don't buy for that. It's going to be a big money waste because you're going to be like, oh, this is the same phone and the glyph interface is just a gimmick, because that's the experience I had. Obviously, I didn't buy this phone for the glyph interface. I bought it for the sake of using it and reviewing it. And yeah, just for those sake, I bought it. But if I was really needing a phone and I wanted to not spend as much and I wanted an Android phone, I would definitely go for the Nothing Phone 1, because for those type of people fitting those criteria, you wouldn't go wrong. So it has been a good experience. I might stick with Nothing Phone 1 till the next iPhone, which is the iPhone 14, comes out, and then I'm going to be taking my main SIM out of the Nothing Phone 1 and moving to that phone. But till then, I'm going to be rocking this daily. In relation to bugs, I haven't faced any bugs that I haven't been able to resolve. Obviously, the fingerprint scanner on this, as you can see, he is here in the bottom, is not as good. Let me try and press it. It takes time, so it's not the fastest out there, but it gets the job done, so I'm not really fussed about it. There is obviously, as you can see here, the dot notification. It has that, so it has the Nothing OS launcher on top of the stock Android, so you're not really losing the stock Android experience because the Nothing OS is pretty much based on the stock Android experience, but you get like dot weather widgets. But this is a pretty good experience for a mid-range device and I'm loving it. Do note that they are a fairly new company and this is a first-gen product, so your unit potentially could have issues, but if so, reach out to Nothing Support at Twitter and they might be able to assist you. But that's it for today. I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy this phone if you do tend to get it. Thanks for watching.